My name is Martina Wall. If you haven't, if you're new to following me, or if this is the first time you've watched one of my videos, I am a self-love coach, and I empower women to accept and respect their bodies at any size. And so today I wanted to talk to you guys about my opinion about abundance, or what I think abundance means to me. So if you guys are watching live with me this morning, please say hello. And then if you're watching on the replay, just hashtag replay, and I'll make sure I come back on later and say hi to you then. So today we're going to be talking about abundance and what it means to me, and hopefully it resonates with you and you can connect it back to your life as well. So before we jump into that, you guys, if you guys are watching this on Facebook this morning, I would encourage you to head on over to YouTube when this video is done and hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications for each time that I come live. On my YouTube channel, you will find over 200 videos, all to do with things to do with my self-love at any size method, which is where I share things about yoga, meditation, chakra healing, body image work, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I have Yesli here with me. So hello, Yesli. Thank you for sharing with us. Always. I love coming on here. It feels like life gets busy sometimes and I don't get to be as consistent with my videos. But each time that I come on, I am so excited to hang out with you guys on here. So, secondly, one more little piece of housekeeping things. If you guys are watching, or if you're, back up. If you are not in my community already, I have a group called Self-Love at Any Size. And it is just helping women and empowering them to accept and respect their bodies at any size that they are. Hence the title, Self-Love at Any Size. And we have lots of giveaways in there and support and community and just empowerment. And so if that sounds like something that you need more of in your life, social media can be very toxic and harmful. So it's important to involve yourself with communities like this to be able to just feel encouraged and inspired and uplifted by other women. So it's a super powerful space, and we would love to welcome you into that space, and that is here on Facebook. So let's get into it, you guys. Today we're talking about what I think abundance is. So abundance is actually a word that I used to be so scared of, to be honest with you guys. And it's really been reflected to me in the past month on how, and that was actually my word for 2022. My word was abundance. And it wasn't until recently that I started to kind of piece together how abundance is connected to so many different parts of our lives, not just money and material gain. I know that is often what abundance is linked to is always financial, and at least that's what I've always kind of felt. Until more recently, as I've been able to kind of, put it into a different perspective and just really be open to realizing that abundance can be given to us in so many different ways. So Yesli says, absolutely love your community, a very safe space. Yay, Yesli. Yesli is one of our self-love mavens in my program, and I'm so grateful to have her with us on our self-love journeys. So anyway, so abundance, a quote that I wanted to share with you guys before I kind of let you know, and we talk about a little bit about what abundance means to me, and hopefully you can resonate with that too, is a quote from Deepak Chopra. And I'm just going to read it to you guys. So true abundance is the experience in which needs are met easily and desires are spontaneously fulfilled. You know it when you feel joy, health, happiness, a sense of purpose, and vitality in every moment of our existence. Oh, it gives me goosebumps when I read that. So I hope, it just resonates with me to realize that abundance is so much more than material and financial gain. And once we are able to disconnect kind of that part of always focusing on the financial and the material part of abundance, and yes, that is a part of abundance, absolutely. But the thing that I have started to realize is that abundance really starts with self-love, because until you can love and accept and respect yourself, you're probably not going to feel very abundant in your life. You're not going to feel like you're fulfilled. And like that quote said, you're not going to feel health, joy, happiness, a sense of purpose, and vitality in every moment of your existence when you kind of hate yourself. And I know that's where I used to be. I used to, look in the mirror and I hated who I saw, and I thought that weight loss was the answer to that. And so after yo-yo dieting for most of my life and having a really toxic relationship with food and my body, I decided to change. I decided something needed to happen in order for me to feel and live that abundant way of being. So as I've kind of shifted my perspective away from diet culture, away from that traditional sense of the only way to feel worthy and accepted and loved is if you have a certain size, if your body reflects a certain size or a certain shape, I'm able to experience now joy, health, happiness, a sense of purpose without determining my size being the reason that happens. So abundance for me is living that life, that fulfilled life. And yes, financial is a part of that. But for me personally, I realized that as we step into our power and shine our light and all the things that I hope to be helping women with, really that is launching us or kind of preparing us for those other abundant things to show up in our life. And so really the core or the root of abundance, I believe, is self-love. And so yes, Lee, what did she say here? She says, absolutely agree. Abundance is definitely so much more than materialistic things. So true that it starts with self-love. This resonates with me. Yeah, it makes me a little bit emotional to really just connect the pieces of ourselves and to know the more that we can love ourselves, and we are all on this journey of continuing to get to know ourselves better and continuing to love ourselves more than we did yesterday. And we're going to have ebbs and flows. That's something I definitely resonate with myself, is I still have ebbs and flows. There's days when I don't really potentially love myself as much as I should. And there's things that I'm still working on. And that's the beauty of self-love and the spaces I've created within my business, is that giving women that container to be able to have those ebbs and flows. But we're going to be here when you're either going through it or when you're coming out of it, and to just be with you throughout those moments. And that's why I stand by my programs being lifetime access, because we are going through self-love journeys our whole lives. It ebbs and flows, it goes up and down. And if you try and just say, oh, I'm going to change this for you and we're going to just fix your self-love in 6 weeks, that's just not realistic. And I've realized that it is a journey, and that's one of the reasons why I want to be there long term for my people, because self-love isn't something that's just very in the box, right? Nothing I do is in the box. So anyway, moving on from that, kind of realizing that abundance is connected to self-love so deeply. And once I've kind of come to that realization, it's actually very powerful for me, and it makes me realize that, we don't have to define abundance by one area. And the more that we work on the abundance within ourselves of feeling that happiness and joy, that all those other parts of abundance are going to start showing up as we kind of manifest those things by just being so so loving with ourselves and accepting ourselves and respecting ourselves. Because with all those things come all those other things, if I'm making any sense. So Yesley says, I love your program. You put so much into it, and I love that I have a lifelong friend. Oh, I love that so much. And that makes my heart happy, and that's exactly why I am doing what I'm doing. So thank you, Yesley. So moving forward from that, I wanted to just give you guys a couple tips in order to realize that how to kind of unlock your abundance and how to start developing that self-love for yourself so you're able to start living that abundant life in all forms of your life. So the first thing that I think I realize is that we need to stop judging ourselves. We need to quiet that inner critic, that limiting belief that we have that we are not worthy of these things, that we're not worthy of self-love, that we're not worthy of having things in our life, we're not worthy of our goals, like all these things that we judge ourselves and we kind of play small, right? And so my first piece of advice is to stop judging yourself. And there's different ways we can do this for sure, and it takes consistent dedication and patience and effort. So I know it's not easy, but it is a really big thing that holds so many of us back, is the judging of ourselves. And we are the worst to ourselves, right? Like if you think about the things that you say to yourself in your head, one thing I always try and make people realize is, would you say this to your best friend? Would you say this to your child or your spouse? You absolutely would not, right? And so it's that would be my first thing, is to really stop that critical voice for yourself. And then secondly, just being kind with yourself, being kind and gentle and forgiving with yourself. We all make mistakes. We all have low moments. We all have high moments. And it's being gentle with yourself throughout those things and not being so critical of yourself during those times. I know when I feel like I have those low moments, I can see how people can sink so deep into either depression or anxiety or just those feelings of hopelessness. And we really just need to be so gentle with ourselves during that time and know that it's okay to rest. It's okay to take a step back. It's okay to do those things. And it's okay not to be okay. And I think that's something that really speaks to the self-love piece, is being able to give yourself that gentle forgiveness when you're going through moments where you kind of feel like, oh, I'm not on my game. I'm not doing the things I need to do in order to kind of grow. It's like, that's part of growing, is having those moments of feeling that lowness or that, depressive kind of feelings, and being able to recognize it. Give yourself that gentleness to sit in that, but then also being able to kind of like take those steps out of the hole, right? And so thirdly, we need to embrace our quirks and our flaws. And that's something also that takes a while to figure out as you become an adult and as you go through life, is to know that you are exactly who you're supposed to be in this life. If you are a total weirdo, that's who you're supposed to be, and you should embrace that. And step into that. And with that comes confidence, right? When you kind of embrace your quirkiness or your weirdness, which if you're on my Instagram, you'll see kind of that side of me, of that I love to dance, I love to be silly, and I embrace it. I've learned to just embrace it. This is who I am. This is what I like to do. And I hope it makes people smile. So really learning to embrace your quirks and flaws is another way to like unlock that abundant life of just stepping into who exactly you are and not really caring what people think. And then fourthly, we need to take care of ourselves emotionally and physically. So that is, and I believe that there is 6 areas of self-care, and that is what I help my clients with, is being able to really unlock those parts of ourselves and know that we need to be taking care of all those different parts of us, not just physical, because I know that's what I used to be, is I used to just take care of my physical health. Like I would only be worried about, how many calories I put in my mouth, how much I weighed on the scale, how much exercise I did, and how many calories that exercise burned. And that's all I cared about. I didn't care about my mental state, my emotional state. Any of those things didn't matter to me. And so that's when I've now realized that taking care of yourself in all the areas of self-care, when we're talking about physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and practical, there's all these different things, right? So I see Sean on here. Hello, Sean. That's my cousin. And Yesley says, how boring would it be if everyone was the same, right? And she says, I love your silly, quirky reels. Yeah, it's fun. Make a fool out of myself. Why not? So finally, my final tip for you guys when we're talking about abundance is to love yourself unconditionally, without condition, right? So being able to love yourself at whatever, as you make mistakes, as you do things that you probably shouldn't have, if you say the wrong thing to someone, if you don't meet this deadline, if you gained a little bit of weight or lost a little bit of weight, or if your hair's too short, or if your freckles are too bright, like, all these things that make you you. We really need to step into that loving ourselves unconditionally, without condition, knowing that we're going to change, we're going to make mistakes, we're going to have low moments, high moments, and being able to love yourself through all of that is where it really unlocks that abundant living, to know that you are worthy of love. You are worthy of love no matter where you are, what you are, the mistakes you've made, the imperfections you have, the flaws you have. That is what makes you you, and that you deserve love no matter what. You deserve to love yourself and be loved no matter what. So I hope that resonates with you, and I hope you can just kind of feel how abundance is self-love, how the root of self-love steps into our abundant way of being, that abundant life that we all strive for. If we start with ourselves and with that love that we have for ourselves, and that love grows, then we're also going to see all those other areas of our life abundantly grow as well, right? So that is all I had for you guys this morning. I really enjoyed talking to you guys about this, and thank you, Yesley and Sean, for tuning in with me today. If you watch this later, feel free to comment, and I always come back and make sure that I say hi back to you and interact. So moving forward from here, you guys, if you want, I have a free Unlocking Abundance download, like a free guide that you can grab in the description of the video if that's something you want to kind of further deep dive into. That's a really great way to start. And then after that, on July 7th, which is next Thursday, I have partnered with Tanya Milano and Stephanie Mello, and we are doing an Envision Abundance workshop. And so it's a 90-minute workshop where we're going to be really taking the things that I said today into a deeper level. We're going to be helping your money mindset. We're going to be working on self-love and your abundance, and we're going to be working on some triggers to help you just to unlock your abundant life, right? And how to work through that. So it's going to be amazing. And I'm so excited to be able to partner with these ladies and just collaborate and share our message even further. So I hope that this was helpful. And once again, thanks to anyone who tuned in and watched today. And we will see you guys next time.